Hugh Trenchard is often referred to as the father of the Royal Air Force, having helped to form it from the Royal Flying Corps and the Royal Naval Air Service. He continued to lay its foundations during its first few years as an independent branch of the British Armed Forces.
He was a man who not only had an incredibly interesting life, but also an extremely significant impact on the British Armed Forces. Before we look at the impact he made, we will look at his life as a whole.
Trenchard was born in 1873 in Somerset. His father was a former captain in the army, and his mother was the daughter of a Royal Navy captain, so he grew up surrounded by the military. He never excelled academically, preferring to hunt and ride, and spending most of his time outdoors.
Aged 10, Trenchard was sent to boarding school. His academic struggle did not greatly concern his parents, who saw him pursuing a military career. His mother wanted him to join the Royal Navy, following in the footsteps of her father. However, he failed the entrance exams, so he set his sights on the army instead.
After several failed attempts, he finally joined the army in 1893 and was appointed second lieutenant in the Royal Scot Fusiliers. His first posting was to India. Upon arrival, he was told to make a speech about the Royal Scot Fusiliers, which was a tradition for the most junior officer. However, instead of creating a speech, he thought it funnier to simply say, "I am deeply proud to belong to this great regiment. I hope one day I shall live to command it." Soon after, he was sent back home for a hernia operation, hoping to rejoin his battalion soon.
Trenchard was desperate to go back to the military, as that year the Second Boer War had begun. Eventually he went to South Africa and was placed in charge of a mounted company due to his polo skills. Sadly, during a clash with the Boers in 1900, he was shot in the chest with a damaged left lung, and he was left paralysed from the waist down as a fragment of the bullet had become lodged within his spine.
Having returned to England injured, Trenchard was advised to spend several months in Switzerland as the air would benefit his lung. There he took up bobsledding, a pastime which required very little use of the legs. Eventually he had a serious crash, but instead of damaging his spine further, the impact readjusted it, restoring the use of his legs. This remarkable stroke of luck, as well as an improvement in his lung, allowed him to return to South Africa in late 1901. In 1910, having served in South Africa and Nigeria, Trenchard became ill and returned home. On recovery, he received a letter from a friend, a pilot, persuading him to learn to fly. Aged 39, he was just 1 year below the maximum age for pilot students. He enrolled immediately. 2.5 weeks and 64 minutes flight time later, he gained a certificate. He encountered slight difficulty due to partial blindness in one eye, but kept this a secret from his instructors.
At the outset, the